welcome to the first edition of Jillian's Island. I'm happy to have y'all here, and I'm going to get started with your questions. It can only take a few, but we had some really good ones this week. So the first question is from Lone Star 48. In your opinion, what will it take for the Longhorns to compete for the Big 12 title this year in the major sports? As far as football goes, Texas is going to have to play harder than they have the past few seasons. That's pretty obvious, but Oklahoma's going to be the team to beat. Oklahoma and Baylor, both of those teams are coming up back very strong, and TCU. So I don't see Texas winning the big title in football next year. For the Big 12, maybe next few seasons, depends how Charlie Strong is doing. As for basketball, I mean, Kansas is the team to beat. That's obvious. They've been winning the Big 12 for as long as I can remember. Past 12 years, I think they've won the Big 12 regular season. So for that to happen, you got to dethrone Kansas in the regular season. Texas didn't beat them in the regular season this year, neither at Kansas or at home. So that's going to be a tough one. It's a matter of getting a team stronger than Kansas's team and outcoaching Kansas. As far as women's basketball, which we've talked a lot about on the board, is beating Baylor. Beating Baylor is huge for the women's team to win the Big 12. Again, that's been something they've had their number. So for those major sports, it's going to be hard. Volleyball, I think volleyball is probably going to be the next team to win Big 12, and the track team, which we've talked about, swimming. And that's kind of answering the next question from Strasbros. What is the next varsity level sport at UT to win a national title? He said team, not individual. So we're excluding swimming and track from that because they are individual, but the team has won national championships in the past for those teams. Most likely going to say volleyball, because volleyball has been doing it and they've been very successful the past few seasons, consistently successful. So they're probably the best bet as far as who's going to win the next national title for Texas. And then DJ Bland said, what is the most underappreciated sport at Texas? In my opinion, the most underappreciated sport at Texas is the track team. Extremely talented track program here, has a bunch of Olympians that have come out in Texas track, and really does not get enough shine. Texas Relays is a huge event, and that's kind of when people pay attention, but this track team is extremely talented. Courtney Okolo was nominated for the Bowerman last year, and she's on the watch list again this year. She's very talented. There's a bunch of people who are going to try to compete in the Olympics. Marquise Goodwin, you probably know him more on the football field, but he also went to the Olympics a few years ago, and although he didn't medal, he still made the Olympics. So he's another track athlete who came out of Texas, and he chose the football route because of money, which is a whole other story. And Alex Dunlap goes, here's my question: who is the better Texas QB, Chris Sims or Major Applewhite? So for this one, I'm going to say, my immediate reaction is to say Major Applewhite. If you look at the stats, they are basically the exact same athlete. Obviously, there are some differences, but their stats are basically on par. Again, they did play the same few seasons together. Chris Sims had one extra year after Major Applewhite left, but their stats, their passer ratings, their touchdowns, their interceptions, all those things are very, very on par with each other, basically the exact same numbers. So it's kind of hard to pick them off the stats. In my opinion, I would say Major Applewhite, because what I remember of Chris Sims is blowing the big games. You know, the game where Major Applewhite had to come in and save him because Chris Sims got the start because Major Applewhite wasn't playing well, and then Major Applewhite had to come in and save the day. So I would have to say Major Applewhite, just because I have all those memories of Chris Sims just blowing it for Texas. And, you know, he did have some successful seasons at Texas. Especially his last two. Texas was 11-2, but regardless, he had those big games that he just could not get it together. And then the next question is from T. Ray Frisco. Will Shaka Smart be around as long or longer as Rick Barnes was, or will the allure of the NBA cut our love affair short? I think Rick Barnes was at Texas for an extremely long time. You don't really see that much. I don't see Shaka Smart staying that long at Texas, but I don't see him going to the NBA either. I think Shaka is a true basketball coach. He loves being involved with these players. He loves coaching them, mentoring them, all of those things. And it's no secret that in the NBA, the coaches are not really coaches. You know, these are grown men. They know how to play basketball. aside from Greg Popovich, not many NBA coaches are truly coaches. So with that being said, I don't see Shaka Smart wanting to go to the NBA. Another thing is he's very young, and a lot of the players in the NBA are going to be similar age to him. So that's a whole other thing with paying attention to the coach, listening to the coach, because we know these guys in the NBA have big personalities, big egos, and I don't think Shaka will really be attracted to that. I see him staying at Texas for, definitely a handful of years. I don't see him ever going to the NBA, and if he did, it would be way down the road once he's, I was going to say balding, but he's already bald. Once he's old, wrinkly, stuff like that, I think that's when he would probably go. I think he really enjoys being around kids and working with these 18-year-olds and making them into men, and I don't think he wants to deal with guys who are already grown men and are getting a lot of money. I think he's really in it for the heart of it. So I don't think your love affair is going to end unless another college school picks him up. I think he'll be at Texas. I'd be shocked if he was gone within 5 years. I think he'll be here for probably 10 years. I think Rick Barnes stayed too long and very long, and I don't think that's really going to be the trend anymore in college, but I think 5 years for sure he'll still be here. And then the last question I'm going to get to, McWapos asked, football uniforms, should Texas do an alternative uniform on occasion or just minor tweaks to the traditional look? Why this has been such a controversial issue among Texas fans, I have no idea. I see nothing wrong with doing alternate uniforms. Texas prides itself on tradition. It loves its tradition, and I understand that. Texas uniforms are great. Traditional, been a great jersey. I have nothing against them. It's just a matter of staying in the loop. It's hard to rock the same jerseys every single week when there's teams like Oregon who are coming out with a new jersey for every single game they play in. I think it plays a part with recruiting. Kids love the flashy look. That's why Oregon gets these recruits, and they're a talented team, obviously. But they like that. They like the allure of getting a new uniform every week, new gear every week. That kind of stuff really plays into it. So I think if Texas wants to keep on par with all these other schools making these cool uniforms, I think they do need to do that. Minor tweaks, sure, that's fine. It doesn't have to be anything major. They don't need to come out with some ridiculous colored uniform. It doesn't need to be anything like that, but add a little bit to, for a special occasion game. I think it'd be great for like the Red River rivalry. I think a special jersey should be made for that. I know that they put a patch on the jersey. That's not really enough. I think it needs to be a little bit more of a tweak than a patch, but otherwise, I think a little change would be good for Texas. It would be good for Texas football, the uniforms, the look of it. It's not abandoning tradition to just add a little change. So for that, I'm all for it. Not anything too crazy. I think some minor tweaks here and there could really help Texas, the look of it, the feel of it, and give some new energy with the program, because I know the guys on the team would be really excited about some new uniforms. So with that being said, you guys had some great questions. Hope you enjoyed this, and I will be back again next week. Thank you for watching.